Losing a home. Me and my mom had just come back from a funeral in the rain. As we drove into the driveway, we saw our furniture outside the house and the windows now shut with boards. My mom tried to put the key in the keyhole, but it wouldn't work. She called the police, who came down to the house to do an investigation. Suddenly, a man came up to the house with a key and unlocked the door. The police stopped him from going any further, but the man told him that someone else was moving in. My mom took us to a hotel for the night. I loved it as I was able to get on the internet and watch videos. We stayed for one night before it was time for us to leave. I was confused and disappointed. Why did we have to leave so early? My mom then took us to a women's shelter at Spratt Street in Charlotte, where we would be spending 6 months of our lives in. Now, for someone who's an introvert, I hated the shelter. We had dorms on the first, second, and third floor. Me and my mom were transferred to the second floor, where there was nothing but bunk beds cramped together in one room with no walls in between to at least give us some space. I was surrounded by people left and right, little kids, babies, preteens, and of course women. The shelter was extremely strict when it came to the rules. Like, I get that you want to keep order, especially when there's children involved, and I get that some of the women are nasty, but there's a thing called being too controlling. If anything, the only time I had any freedom was when I was enrolled into the Boys and Girls Club, which gave me some sanity. After living in the shelter for 6 months, we finally get the car we were all waiting for. We packed up our bags and boarded the bus to a place called Hampton's Crest. I lived my life normally until one day we had to pack our bags. Once again, we had to live in hotels, which lasted about a couple months before we moved to my cousin's house and mom's niece's house. She had 4 children ranging from 1 to 5 years old. Me and my mom lived there until I reached 11th grade. When I reached the 11th grade, we moved to my grandmother's house in KP. There, I had to watch kids and clean up while going to school. This had become a routine until my grandmother had to move from KP to Newtown at West 14th Street. I gathered up our belongings and once again, we had to find somewhere else to go. My Aunt Felicia asked us if we could come over to her house to stay, which my mom agreed. Staying at my Uncle D-Ray and Aunt Felicia's house was not a good experience. My aunt kept asking me to do favors for her, which at times I really didn't mind. But when it got to the part to where I was in the middle of a Zoom meeting with my teachers, and she kept asking me to clean up and cook for her, I had to firmly tell her that she had to wait. Like, this was the equivalent of you in the middle of cooking something on the stove, and someone asked you to rake onto the leash outside. Even my own mom started to fuss at her for telling me what to do, to do stuff for her. I think that's when she started to become spiteful. Now, me and my mom are in the living room while Wise was in one room, and Felicia, Dira, and Jamarcus in another room. My 8-year-old cousin deliberately pooped in the bed, and now the room smells like poop. And I mean, the smell just wouldn't come out, and all 3 of them were looking at me like I was crazy when I kept on closing the door. I mean, come on now, even Wise can smell the stench, and he's in another room with the door closed. But that makes my mom's blood boil to this day, was when Felicia's brother almost muzzleloaded me, and Felicia didn't do anything about it. My mom hurried up and told me to gather up our belongings so we could get out of our house faster. My Aunt Shanita had just recently got herself a new apartment. It was in the process of moving out, so we decided to help her out. I've moved a lot in my lifetime, but I've never seen anyone bring their whole house with them to another house. I guess everyone was different when it came to moving. We loaded the U-Haul truck until the house was empty. My mom got in the driver's seat and drove to Shanita's new house. Shanita followed us in the car. We stopped at a new house and carefully unloaded our heavy machines in the truck. Sorry, y'all, but that's all for today.
That's all you got? Oh, great story. So how did that make you feel?
At least grateful.
Grateful for what?
To never take not having the house for granted.
Right. So what do you want to tell the world?
Don't give up hope. Just persevere. And I guess it's all I can think of for today.
And this is the Who story.
My story.
And what's your name?
Preshious Barrett.
Kween Preshious Barrett.